Hello, hello, hello everybody. It's time for another art stream. And guess what we're doing? Deltarune, of course we are. And it had to be stuff for the new chapter. Ah, that's not the correct thing. Ah. Anyways, I hope that you will join me for this fun stuff and we can talk. Holy crap. There's so much to talk about. And way too much to draw. I didn't even know what to do about that. So, I'm just starting off. Actually, I should probably make this more of that color or something. I really, for my first, I was like, what should I draw for the first bits of stuff? And absolutely had to draw Gerson and Susie from chapter 4 because I love them a lot. One of my favorite parts of the chapter. So that's what we're doing. I already drew them. We're working on some coloring today, and I'm using my little references here. I think I'll just move these guys around as necessary. My little sprite guys. Anyways, I hope that you all are doing well. I just realized that's the wrong Susie sprite. I'm stupid. Where's her Dark World version? Let's see. I know I have this somewhere. Suzel colors. The other Delta side. Okay. This is the one I wanted. I need her Dark World colors, not her Light World ones. I'm stupid. Anyways, hello. Thank you for coming. Things are going okay. My brain is a mess. I'm like, I have done nothing for the past 3 days except use all of my brain power to rotate Susie Deltarune in my mind. I love her so much! As is evidenced, and I forgot to get my reference here. Here we go. Whew. And I really hope some more, I need to start looking for good old remixes. Good grief, is it that big? Some remixes of new chapter music, because there's a lot of good stuff on there. I've been listening to a bunch of the battle music on repeat. Hello, good morning. We're doing some colors. I'm just pulling straight from the sprites for this one. What a week indeed! Holy crap! I've literally been listening to a bunch of stuff on loop. Just again, a lot of the battle themes, some of the side scenes. Bleh. I'm gonna have trouble talking. Good grief. There's so much to wrap my brain around. I'm like, I don't we know next chapters are coming next year, and I'm like, am I gonna have enough time to process that? Oh, thank you so much for subscribing. Yeah, Second Sanctuary, really good. I need to listen to that one a bit more, for sure. I know we were like, we have to wait so dang long for the new chapters. Now I'm like, I think I'm gonna need quite a bit of a breather before new chapters here. Because holy crap, that was just so much at once. Second Sanctuary, so good. Oh my goodness. This honestly, all of the chapter 4 music just absolutely blew me away. I think it's my favorite so far. It was. That's why I wanted to draw them. I'm like, I did not know how much I needed Susie Gerson mentorship, but I really did, in fact, and I love them. They're so good. I still need to go back and play the secret boss, because I'm like, okay, this secret boss kicks ass. I know. I love how chapter 3 is like, we're mostly running around doing mini games and stuff, and then yeah, she really was feeling very very main character at that point. I'm gonna think about Susie's healing. I'm trying. Actually, this is slightly off color. I know that her healing is getting slightly better with time. I need to try it out more often. Just when I was playing, I usually would forget to do it because it costs a lot of TP to do her heals. So I don't need to get better at TPing. Yeah, 4 was a very dark chapter. I love how we've got this idea of like, oh, we've established these patterns from 1 and 2 of like, it's going to do this, and it's going to do this, and this, and this. And then it's like, no, there is no pattern. There is none. Okay, doing the Gerson fight improves it. Well, then I really have to do that Gerson fight. I gotta replay anyway. Let's see. I think this is the same black. Because I have watched the fight. I know what happens in it, but I haven't played it myself. So I need to do that. Actually, maybe that yellow is too yellow. Maybe I should have gone with the gold. Noelle's house, aggressively Christmas. I always figured that was going to be the case. I'm like, her house is decorated like Christmas 24/7. Toby, you troll. We're all like, and then the song will be called It's Raining Here. And then no, it's called The Place Where It Rained. Tricky Tony. But yeah, we all knew that was likely going to happen. Okay, maybe, trying to pull the right color from here. It's really hard when you got, like, fuzzy sprites. Okay, that looks more correct. Yeah. It was like Sans' introspective theme, and then here... It was still pretty introspective here, as well. Just not for Sans. Yeah, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it now. I'm taking the evil path. I'm going to make a theory video about Susie being half human, and also Sans and Papyrus for that matter. Just get my thoughts out. Watch out, theory videos. Here I come. I'm probably gonna need help with it because I've never really done an edited video before. Like I can do an animatic and stuff like that, but like editing's a whole nother ball game. So I'm probably gonna enlist people's help. I'm yay, winner! Which is funny because there was just like so much stuff I did not predict. I was totally expecting, for example, Caddy and Jockington. That was something I was really certain on, and that didn't happen. Maybe it'll still happen in chapter 5, but I was like, okay, Caddy and Jockington will be at church, they'll be joining. They did not, so. I did miss the Susie Zilla game, and I hate myself. I was still looking like, there's gotta be a Susie Zilla scene. I gotta see it. And then I missed it, because I was like, oh, I don't want to pay 500 points for that. Fool that I was. So that's another thing I need to do when I replay, is actually do the Susie Zilla game. I know, I missed it. I was the foolish fool who did not pay the 500 points. I guess I gotta, like, be like, okay, I need to farm points better during that stuff. I need to probably use the gacha machine more. I thought I'd have to be saving those up. I suffer from the video game thing of, what if I'm gonna need this later? I might need a lot of points later. No, you were wrong. Use the points. Use the points, you fool. I missed it because I didn't want to spend the points, and then I forgot about it. Well, also, I did know there was that secret in the gacha machine where, like, if you put in 1,225 points, like, you kind of go inside the gacha machine, and there's some kind of weird stuff going on there. Yeah, chapter 3, currency only. And I guess you can convert them to dollars when you're done. Yeah, very, very odd. Because it's interesting how, like, so much of the extra stuff in chapter 3 felt weird rootish. Even though, again, I've never played it, and honestly, I still don't intend to. I'll just see what people do with it, because I don't like being like that. It's scary. It's really upsetting. It's upsetting. Yeah. No, I've never played Snowgrave. I haven't done that file at all, so I wasn't worried. I'm like, wow, this is Snowgrave, but I know I haven't played it, so I guess we'll see what happens. I'm gonna make her eyes a little bit better yellow here. hard to grab from the sprite. Yeah, it's pretty nasty. I missed a bunch of other little weird secrets, like the scene with Spamton and Tenna that Alex Roken just recently did. Yeah, I'm not sure about the lore implications. The idea of you want freedom, and freedom apparently means, you know, violence. Spamton gets whipped creamed. The sad punch prophecy? It feels like it's gonna be somebody has to be sacrificed, somebody has to die. Who or how many people that is, I don't know. But it's pretty dang bad if Susie's all like, oh yeah, prophecy, great, we just know what happens. Now she's like, oh, screw that, no, that's bad, bye. Yeah, Noelle seems possible. But I wouldn't be surprised if it's any one of them. It could be Kris, certainly. We keep getting these weird hints of, like, you know, you saw through your hand, you were used up. Really unhappy stuff like that. Susie, yeah. I don't know. I keep having this thought, this weird thought of, like, what, you know, it has been really firmly established that we do not control Susie, that she does whatever the heck she wants. That that's an important part of you know, her character, is that we are not in control of her. She controls her own destiny. Oh, what was the request? Sorry, we're also eating cake. Oh, that's right. He did eat some cake. All right, I gotta pull up my thing. Yeah. What if there's, you know, some moment in the future where things get really dire, and we are gonna have to switch to actually controlling Susie, if we have to break that rule. Yeah, it seems like it's really that Susie is like a really core component here because she defies the narrative in a lot of ways. That's kind of how she rolls. Yeah, the darkest moment of the story. So, I don't know. I'm just envisioning the situation where, yeah, we're gonna have to control Susie. We're gonna have to break this rule of Susie is not controllable for something. I don't think she would let that happen. Like, I think that would be her choice. Like, she ain't gonna let that happen unless she chooses to, but it's something that she would choose to do. I know, Ralsei with the bloody face. Okay, what was it? Ralsei eating some cake. I'll tell you what, Ralsei was looking so rough these chapters. I'm like, good grief. Okay, I don't really like how this is looking. I feel like I have to, like, get back into drawing a little better. I feel like I kind of dropped off a bit the last few days. Yeah, that's what I mean. Susie would choose to be controlled for the greater good, but the situation would have to be dire for that to even be on the table for her, is I think how it would go down. He does deserve some cake. Yeah, that would destroy me. I think that would probably destroy, like, Kris and Noelle as well. I don't think they could stand that. Yeah, I'm sorry if I missed chats. Chat's moving pretty fast. Yeah. Oh, a little bit harder than that. Make me pull a Tenna. I know, Tenna's so needy. What about me, Kris? I watched you grow up. It was funny though, that sprite just totally threw me through for a loop. Give him cake. Give him cake. Tenna got PSTD from the divorce. Divorce leads your TV to the worst places. Yeah, I get the feeling that, at least some people have pointed out, that Susie seemed deeply uncomfortable with seeing Toriel, like, you know, really buzzed. So maybe she's got that kind of going on at home as well. Because she definitely likes Toriel, but I think she, like, was like, oh, I don't really like this. So seeing something from her own home that, you know, reminds her of her own family situation is probably upsetting for her. Because this is probably more normal for Kris, but no, like they are aware that this might happen with Tori, but obviously they're not very happy on it. Yeah, we haven't gotten to Jockington grows the beard. When do we get to see him grow the beard? We were promised this. Kris is like, oh, great. Yeah, she definitely has this idea of, like, Kris's home life is perfect. And it's like, well, no, not always. Alright, little doodle Rousey eating cake. Yay! Sans, I've banished you to the Undertale dimension for getting drunk with my mom. No, I don't think it's proof Toriel's the worst mother. I think people were correct in that she is a wine mom, but that doesn't mean she's, like, the worst. Because, like, this is not an uncommon thing for moms having to deal with a lot, especially since, you know, Kris has their own troubles. Yeah, she has flaws. They're very flawed. I don't know what the heck is going on with Asgore, though. Good grief. Favorite new enemy? I'm trying to think through all of them. Yeah. I know, Toriel's a bad mother. Carol's right there. It's like, I'm sorry, no. I think Carol's the worst. Let's see. Oh, wait. We have the sprite. Let's pull from the sprite. The shell is kind of a brown color. Yeah, Gwei was pretty cool. I like that one. Oh. Why does my stupid clicker thing not work? Incredibly Sub-Zero bar. Yeah, she's just... I'm kind of looking at Carol like, Rudy, actually, what do you see in her? At this point. Like, maybe there was a time when, you know, she was, you know, a lot more subdued on that and was just, you know, kind of, you know, competent and, you know, powerful and people that's attractive. But, like, she was just, ugh. Yeah, I definitely assume that she's gotten worse after Dessa's death. That seems very likely. What is the dialogue that implies she's sick of her? It kind of implies that Toriel is sick of her because, like when Rudy calls her Carol, she's like, your wife. Yeah. Yeah. Toriel seems to be kind of on a colder thing with Carol than usual, than I was expecting anyway. I kind of expected Toriel and Carol to get along a little more. It doesn't seem like they do. Like, she, like, I think Toriel respects her, but she doesn't seem to, like, things seem to have gotten a little cold on that front. I guess it depends on how you read it. Yeah. Yeah. Basically, Carol seems to have, like, undue amount of power over everyone else in the town. Asgore likes Rudy too, true. That does not bode well, no. So I imagine that she was already kind of, you know, strict and harsh before the bad thing happened to Des, and then afterwards she just got ridiculously worse. I don't even know if she really took pity on Asgore so much as just like, this guy can be useful to whatever I'm doing. Yeah, I love the fact that Susie basically immediately like, no, I'm standing up to you. You're a bitch. And I'm really afraid of how she's going to retaliate. I might put that in the video whenever I do the half-human Susie video, because if Carol knows that, and I think Carol would with her position, I think she would use that as leverage against Susie. So I'll probably go more into that in the video. I know, I want to see Susie's parents. What's going on with them? We know she's not homeless, because we saw her room. I'm tempted to draw that. That might be the third thing I tackled. I love the Tom and Jerry. I love the Tom and Jerry shenanigans. Like, just getting chased around with a hockey stick. Getting pelted with a hockey puck. I know, awesome lesbian couple. Evil and intimidating horse. But yeah, if you keep on with the conversation, it seems like they both are kind of like, well, maybe this did mean something. Oh, little cup guys are very cute. The little cuptons. They were little church solo cups. I think it was also more a thing of like, oh crap, you know, if there's anything this crazy lady is telling me to do, it's like, Susie cannot get the guitar, and the Gasol's like, oh look, the guitar, I'm gonna go poke that. I'm gonna go poke the guitar. And Kris is like, don't do it. Also, it was just filled with like this moment when you realize like Kris just like drinks the chocolate milk and is like goes to play piano, and you're like, oh no, oh Kris, oh. Like, I know some people are like, oh, this means Kris is evil, and I'm like, it kind of seems like Kris is being manipulated. So at least I look back again, if you watch through the whole conversation on the phone without interrupting it, then they seem kind of like exhausted and unhappy. They kind of collapse onto the counter after it's done, like, ugh. And yeah, they're absolutely just beat the crap out of you in the weird route, justifiably. Chapter 5, decently large with the festival and whatever's going on with probably Dark World and Asgore's shop. You got knighted, Kris. Dun dun dun. You just got knighted. Boom. Feels like more stuff going on that Kris is a devious gremlin, but they do care about their friends and don't want bad things to happen to them. Gerson and Discord. Discord and Hound at the Moon. Okay. Which scene? Sorry. Oh yeah, I did see the scene. I know the scene was altered also in the first patch. That's a deeply upsetting scene. I'm not surprised it was altered. Deeply, deeply upsetting. It's so icky. It's not at all surprising that immediately after, Kris just beats the shit out of the soul. I'm old! Yeah. And I think somebody, I don't remember who it was, pointed out that after that happens, Kris's health is cut in half. They lost health themselves doing that. Like, that was literal self-harm for them. That they were just so angry about that. And then apparently you can also then, I don't remember what it was, that you can damage your health more in that route. Yeah, Kris bites their hand and their health gets damaged again. It was visually interesting, but I'm not surprised that that was changed. People were like, oh, this is literally, you know, diegetic essay. And like, that's a really tricky subject to dance around, so I'm not surprised it was changed. Plus, there was something I saw, I don't remember what it was, that like, in a later scene, you can move that red dot around, which does seem to indicate that it's, I think about the night, yeah. Does seem to indicate that that's like a little bit of the soul getting transferred to Noelle to control her directly. I gotta get this pen of color. That was such a good fight. That was such a good fight with the statue Gerson one. I missed the secret boss, but when we got to that one, just like, okay, I'm glad I was wearing headphones. I didn't get what they were talking about when it's like, oh, there was a fight where if you are hard of hearing or you can't hear, it becomes, kind of an accessibility issue. So they worked around that. Yeah, that was my choice. I prayed for Asriel, and they're just like, Asriel. They don't seem to be too worried about him. Or maybe their feelings are complicated. I don't think piles of Asriel's dust is an issue, especially since, like, multiple times when you have the ability, Kris is like, no, they don't look alike. Asriel does not look like Ralsei. Look, see, Susie, look how they're different. Like, okay, Kris, you can stop pointing him out. He looks a little bit like Toriel as well. Yeah, basically if you pick Pray for Noelle in the Weird Room, they just kick over the candles. They're mad. Are you winning, kids? I got to do my break. I gotta take care of my wrist. I'm gonna add more color on as we're going. Also, sorry about the fan noise. It is getting hot now. I have to have fans on because I don't have air conditioning. Your boyfriend that looks exactly like your brother. Yeah. Kris is not happy with the weird route. Not at all. And the creepiest part about it is that there seems to be this underlying thing of that this is what is expected. This is what is supposed to happen in terms of, like, the role that they're supposed to play. At least, like, kind of how Carol is talking about it. Like, there's this idea of, like, oh, can't wait for, the girl next door and the kid, the hero, to be romantically involved, even though both these kids are queer, and they're kind of like being forced into this, cis heteronormative relationship that neither of them really want. Yeah, Gerson's definitely in this weird position where he's like, what's a darkner? But he kind of he's neither a lightener nor a darkner. And I feel like if that's going to apply again, it's applying to Des and the Night. Although I'm really hoping that Des is not actually dead. I want to be able to save her. I would like to get her back to her sister. Yeah, that's what I mean. Kris is envy. But even that's what I mean by it's two queer kids being forced into the roles of a cis-het relationship, even though neither of them are that. It's that is what makes it messed up, is that they are kind of expected to fall into this, like, position of a boy and a girl in a heteroromantic relationship, even though they do not fit those criteria. Kris is not a boy, and Noelle is queer. She's clearly into girls, so it's the implications of it. It's not a thing of like, oh, Kris is like secretly a boy, because they're not. It's that they are being forced into these roles that do not fit them and they do not want. Yeah, I'm not sure. She clearly, if she does notice that Noelle is unhappy, she is choosing to ignore it. That she is so focused on her goal that, like, she is choosing to ignore Noelle's clear, like, being upset. They did win. Although, honestly, like, yeah, I can still see plenty of stuff for the cruisy shippers, especially that one bit in the sword route. But I'm kind of reading it more as, like, Susie is kind of slotting into a sibling relationship with Kris. And that she's wearing Asriel's outfit. She's, doing the thing with them at the diner. They're being big goobers together and all that stuff. Toriel really likes her. He keeps wanting to stay over with the family. But there was good ship stuff for lots of people. For the Ralphs-Luzies and the Cruisies, and absolutely Suzelle. I knew it would happen. I'm just like, yay. Ugh, more water already. All right, be right back for one more stretch and more water because it's hot. Okay, I'm back. Oh yeah, I also missed the thing where apparently like the little tiny Kris can come out, the little pixel Kris can come out and attack Susie. In that scene, that's wild. That's where you get that one cruisy moment where Susie or Kris grabs Susie away from it. What a weird little bit there. Okay, I'll move you slightly over like that. Just moving my references around. Yeah, Kris is like, oh jeez. I still need to beat the Shadow Mantle boss, so I've not done that yet. I do need to go back and do a lot of these things, but probably should give myself a little bit of time on it. Yeah, I have another little bit sitting here that I want to work on because that whole section was very, very creepy. So much Kris emotion. A chill stream to listen to. Chill streams to get spoiled on Deltarune for. I know. My child, please be okay. Please stop being in trouble. Why can't the stupid thing work? Huh. There's so many different things to check for in that. That's kind of crazy. Okay, remember all that's in these colors. Yeah, I imagine it's comedic, but at the same time it's like, oh, this isn't actually that funny. What are you yelling at me for? Good grief. I need a new keyboard, I think. I'm having trouble hotkeying my way around things. This one is not the nicest. Yeah, for that moment where I was like, oh no, is she gonna see Susie holding the rose in front of Kris, and then she just turns around and it's like, looks like it's for her. And she's like, oh hey, and just eats it. Chomp. So I hope enough people picked up on the fact that Gerson is dressed like J.R.R. Tolkien here. This is like a J.R.R. Tolkien outfit. As soon as I saw him, I'm like, he's dressed like J.R.R. Tolkien. Lawnmower Susie and the cheese snacks. That would just be her all the time. There's got to be something of him with the hat. Yeah, sorry, Suzel haters. This was always going to be the way it is. Again, there's a little something for everybody. You got a little bit of Curdly in there if you want it. You got some pretty good Ral Susie if you're into that. And again, there's some really good cruisy moments, but Suzel was always going to happen. That was just like, yeah, there's no getting away around that. The polycule is growing. You guys aren't a throuple? I loved the juice moment where they're just like, time for this juice. Like, extremely funny sprite. Yeah. Where it says, Susie's gonna flirt, and Kris is like, whomst? The jumping high five. All of the stuff with the soul, I'm like, what are these Tom and Jerry ass shenanigans? Why are we getting beaten with a hockey stick? We have to get to the bottom of these sick cups of juice. Seriously. Also, somebody pointed out that the juice that Alfie's wants, with the 25% red and 75% yellow, matches. It matches Alfie's skin color. She has her skin color juice. Like, Susie will make fun of my juice combo. Wow, sick juice combo. Yeah, it seemed like the whole thing with the hockey stick was like, don't touch that guitar. Don't touch the guitar. Don't touch it. You are what you eat. Also, Carol, why do you have all these human soul heart pillows around? Also, why do they make those? I think they are. I think Kris genuinely wants to be friends with Susie. I think there's plenty of things where, like, when we are, like, when they are in control of what's being said. No, if it makes... Yeah, I think the whole thing was, like, if you trigger the Santa statues, then Kris is distracted using the hockey stick to try and turn those off. Although that seems like those would make more noise than, you know, the guitar, but that's, you know. Yeah, there's such this ominous thing of, like, the mayor really has it out for Susie. Like, Carol seems to really not like Susie. Susie has busted in on whatever her plan is. And she's been roped in, and she's roped Kris in on this. And Kris is like, I have to do whatever's going on here. I'm kind of, you know, out of options. But at the same time, they do not want bad things to happen to Susie. They like Susie. So they are in a crappy position. I don't think Kris is evil. I think they are in the worst of possible positions, and they might be a position that they put themselves into, but it's not one they like being in. Okay, use the scarf. I just realized I forgot that. Ooh. Ooh. Huh, interesting. Yeah, Kris kind of changes that one. Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on with the red text. Kris is in on the night group chat. They're all arguing in the group chat. Yeah, I would not buy the idea that Kris does not like Rousey. I feel like they are a little weird about Rousey, but I don't think they dislike Rousey. Yeah. I hope so too. If indeed the next Dark World is going to be in Flower King, I think that'll give us a lot more hints as to what's going on with that. Although I think it would be really weird if Asgore was like the boss of that world again, because we already had him as a boss. He was a cool boss in Undertale, but so far, it would be. I mean, I would be a little bit of a pattern break if a Lightner was the boss as opposed to a Darkner. I'm a marketable plushie. I don't even know how that will go. Because so far the only person with a weapon is Carol with the katana. Well, I guess Kris versus the knife. And Kris has the knife. I don't know, I would still put my money on the katana. Why does she have a sword? Like, why do you have a katana of all things? I don't think Undyne has her spears. I think that was just in the Dark World. Like, why would she have spears in the Light World? There's no indication of that. I think she just got spears when she was in the in the Dark World. There's a little like little nod to her Undertale. Yeah, I can see the flowers being a boss. The return of Flowey, but not quite. Now, instead of symbolizing the player, it symbolizes broken marriage, divorce, the boss battle. It could be. We could finally get Caddy and Jockington in Chapter 5. I just thought that would happen in this chapter, but it could be a Chapter 5 situation. Well, Toby did say it was canon. He says, it's canon. Jockington gets a beard. He'll become the cool S. Well, I know that there's a scene where you can find Asgore in the bathroom, and you can find Asgore in Carol's bedroom. He says different things there. Like, is he also in the basement at some point? Because usually you get to the basement last. Huh. What are you doing, Asgore? Field of pink and gold. A lot of pink and yellow stuff going on. Is that, maybe that's Weird Root exclusive? Because yeah, normally as soon as you go down to the basement, you're just wandering around until you trip the power switch. Like the soul can just like do things like, I'm going to shut off the power now. Bright gold thing. I'll go back in here later with shading and stuff. Yeah, and also, this is something I was not expecting. I'm like, Alvin, why did you dig up your father's grave? Why'd you do that? Like, so is it right for this hammer to, like, what was bothering you that you decided to dig that up? For fun and profit. You wanted him back, but he's, I don't know, man. Digging up, you know, my parents' coffins or whatever, that's not going to bring them back. That is possible. Maybe he just never buried him. Okay, just the vent. The Clopen sign, guess. But yeah, I guess it could be that that Gerson just never got buried, which is a little weird, but I feel like there's this weird thing going on of like, okay, what do the, you know, 3 symbols for the bunker mean, or the shelter? I wonder why we haven't seen Papyrus yet either. I think I'm going to be putting that in my half-human Susie video, because I've got some thoughts about that all tie together. Yeah, it was a good one. Like, I did the whole thing where she's like, wait, this is somebody's grave! Lightning crash. Great dramatic moment. Yeah, like, Asgore, another candidate for the police badge. No, I really want to go into this in the video, but I'm really leaning now towards Papyrus. You know, Papyrus and Sans are both half human, and Papyrus is the one that looks human. Because we haven't seen him yet. We have not seen him yet, and it's like, before people are like, oh, he's being hidden because maybe he's a knight. He's definitely not the knight. So like, why can't we see him? Why is it why is he being hidden from us? And also, why would Sans ask Kris specifically, oh, we're new in town, you should go meet my brother. You just met this kid, supposedly. Why is your first instinct, go meet my brother by yourself? And then there's some other evidence from Undertale that I'm gonna throw in too, because like, looking back, there's a few things in Undertale where I'm like, wait a minute, there's something else going on here, perhaps. This is a joke, but it might be more than a joke. Yeah, like, why does it take Susie a minute to be like, okay, oh, this is somebody's grave. We got fed so good, I'm gonna be chewing on this for months and months. Will not be bored. Heck, I'm already still like, how would I integrate this into Deltarune? I'm not sure. I gotta think on it. I'm still just stuck on the canon stuff. Yeah, she might not have seen it outside a graveyard. Yeah, I feel like the evidence is really strong that Sans and Papyrus are... definitely Sans, but I feel like it's also Papyrus are from Deltarune's universe. Next year. They were working on it last year, so it's in production. Yeah. Like, Sans is very much in his jokester mode here. He doesn't seem to pick up, hey, this is kind of uncomfortable. What are you doing? Although, man, imagine him, you know, befriending, whatever. You know, Toriel in this universe getting sent to, you know, Undertale's universe. You know, he's kind of reeling from that, and then eventually maybe he realizes, oh, this lady behind the door in Snowdin is the same lady that I knew in Deltarune. I did not. I found the Shadow Mantle boss. I could not beat him. I'm gonna have to try again. I just got stuck. It was too hard for me. And then I didn't find Gerson as the secret boss because I didn't solve the piano puzzle in Chapter 4. And I'm really sad about that because I really want to do that fight now because even though it looks really hard, like, it kicks ass. Yeah. Muting the game sound helped? Huh, okay. Huh. Haven't found Mike's room. Don't you need to do the mantle for that? I don't know. I mean, probably, honestly, more than the mantle, the night scares me. I really don't know how I'm going to get past the night. Need to beat Chapter 4 and reload. Yeah, I'm less worried about the mantle, because I got pretty far in the fight. I was just like, I can't keep spending time on this, I gotta move on. But I'm worried about the knight. That is the one, just looking at those bullet patterns, I'm like, this is like Sans level crap. I don't know how I'm gonna beat that. I'm sorry, I missed what this says. I don't think it's going to be a leads into Undertale thing. I don't think that's the case. What I mean is that I think, I'm scared about that. I never fought Sans. I'm scared about the knight. I'm scared. Somebody no-hitting. Good grief. But yeah, I don't know how I'm going to do it. I know I need to because I really want all the shadow crystals, but I don't know how I'm going to do it. Just practice my butt off, I guess. Bad night time. But no, I don't think this is going to be, and then this leads into Undertale thing. I think what it means is that Sans and Papyrus are going to get removed from this universe. But this universe is going to keep going on. I don't think that we have a rocks fall, everyone dies, or a time loop situation going on. Okay, I barely beat... Jevil is hard for me. Maybe I can do it, but I'm afraid. Yeah, it does seem intentional. But it really also really does feel it's like, okay, there's something important behind the shadow crystals. I might do it on stream. I'm not sure what I'm going to do for my next game stream. Either I'm going to attempt to do secrets, or I will, because I know I need to play through the game with my friends, but I need a little bit of time for that. But yeah, at least watching the Gerson fight, I'm like, okay, this is difficult, but I think I could do it. I'll figure out the secrets and stuff as well eventually. Well, I thought the point of attacking was to raise your TP so that you can do Rude Buster. So that you basically got to beat him through Rude Bustering. I mean, like, Gerson looks harder than Spant and Neo, I would say that, but I don't know if he looks doable at least. Yeah, no items. Fox only, Final Destination. But yeah, it's just like you have to be really good at dodging no item. Well, you can use Susie's heal, right? But that takes so much TP. So it seems like a very worthwhile fight to do. Bullet hells be hard. Be hard. Yeah, but isn't the whole point of doing the battle that you need to gain TP so you can use Rude Buster? Like, isn't it progressed by doing Rude Buster back and forth at him? Hello, hello, thank you for coming. I thought you had to use Rude Buster. That's how you progress it, is that you basically do like the Ganon fight from Zelda, you know, Rude Buster back and forth with him. Okay. Okay, so you can either heal or Rude Buster him. Okay. Yeah, I don't know what the secret extra area for the other the switch room is. Yeah, defending. That's always how it is. It's like if you are aggressive and can dodge well, the fight won't last so long. Okay. So basically, in order to progress, you have to either be healing or Rude Bustering, or both. Huh, okay. Odd. Then what is that one room that was shown in the trailer? What was that? What was that about? I assumed that was the switch room. I think I just saw something about the gag, like one of the captains makes a gag about being Switch exclusive. Huh, okay. Yeah, I haven't found the eggs at all. People were asking me questions about the eggs. Like, did you see the egg lore? And I'm like, I haven't seen the eggs at all. I'm sorry. I don't know what's happening with the eggs. I'll have to find them. Insane egg lore. I missed it. Uh-oh. I know there's a certain point where you can't get the egg after that, but I don't know how to find the eggs. I will have to look up both eggs, I think. The eggs are just going to get more complicated every chapter, aren't they? It's going to be harder to find the eggs. Convoluted, ooh. How do people find this stuff out? I know, you shouldn't come here. Zombie ghosts, leave this place. You're taking too long. You're taking too long. Huh. Yeah, then I definitely miss those. You're too. Crazy complicated to finish. Oh boy. I got stuck on the Jackenstein fight a lot. Took me a while to figure that one out. More steps. You're taking too long. Is taking too long. You're long. Alright, I gotta try and find the scene. Got this open. I'm trying to find the scene where they're at the tea party. There it is. Okay. You're taking too. Was it the most teased? Is that what happened? Yeah. Oh yeah, the Halloween post. I guess, yeah, there was little, like, dancing pumpkin guys. I remember seeing the little dancing pumpkin guys. I'm like, oh, those are from the newsletter. How cute. Mushroom dance, whatever could it mean? I'm honestly not all that surprised that Toriel didn't feature very much in the chapter, though. Yeah, for a long time I thought, oh no, we have to go really fast or else we're gonna not be able to, get through it in time. But no, it always does you're taking too long at a certain point. Yeah, I'm just not surprised that it didn't happen. Wait, does that actually happen if you play Megalovania? Toby just comes in and kills you? And funny how the Ruins outfit is just the choir robes. We see, like, Chiron wearing them. Noelle is too. Oh. Yeah, just plonks. No, you will not get Megalovania in this game. Shut it. No Megalovania for you. Interesting. So, useful stuff if you know how to play piano. Yeah, I did see, because I saw Alex Roken's little voicing of the Spamton cameo. Oh boy, what comment is that? Is that one? There's good grief, friend inside me. A spamio. Wah, 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 wah. Yeah. What is just a very weird, awkward scene. It's like, if only that little mailman was here. Woo! Like, the gag went on so long. I never actually found that area. I need to find it. There's so much stuff I missed. I knew that would happen. I knew it would be like, I'm gonna miss a bunch of stuff. Now, how are you the normal one here, Spamton? Kris, I am never doing that again. He's just leaning down and covering him with whipped cream. And then later Susie's like, we should put whipped cream in these. Like, why is there so many, like, Mario references? We have Mamma Mia. We have, like, Gerson doing Koopa shell attacks. Hammer Bro attacks. I'm taking too long. I am excited to see Shay speedrun at GDQ in a month. I don't know how you're going to be able to, like, route that game in a month, but, people are crazy. I'm sure they can manage it. Yeah. as a raccoon leaf. Yeah, Gerson is launching Koopa shells in one of his attacks. And yeah, he throws the Hammer Bro hammers. And I'm like, I'm gonna struggle with these moves. The Mario moves are gonna kick my ass. Focus on... Yeah, no, they're supposed to be hammers. Yeah. Very Mario and Luigi-ass stuff going on. He's a hammer Gramps. I love that meme I saw about Gerson. Gerson's song. It's like, stop praying for my grandpa. He's becoming too strong. They can't reach him. I know, I'm sad he grew out. Like, Yoshi was my main. Asriel, why did you, like, grow out of liking him? Rude Buster Juggle. He did grow out of it. Aww. Man, the game really, like, you know, messing with you. It's like, Chris's favorite food is chocolate. No, it's pie. Come on, don't you know that? He likes the green lizard. No, he changed his mind. Kris would know that. You, the player, are stupid. No, I want Asriel to be built like a fridge. Follow in his parents' footsteps. He needs to be a fridge now. Huh. Maybe. I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised if that's patched in later. I don't know. Why did you get that wrong? Apparently, also, like, Kris is hinting at, like, what you're supposed to do in that one. Like, if you hover over pie, Kris is like, like, player, it's this one. They're trying to give you a hint like Alphys did in Undertale. I know. We do need more fat characters. We have a high twink population. We gotta have some fat characters in here to balance it out. So I'm okay with Twink Death Asriel. He can become large. Yeah, the guards aren't much though. Like, we need some more main characters. Like, I was actually kind of hoping that, like, Des might be on the larger side. I like Bisca's you know, really chubby, you know, built punk rocker Des. I said, my boyfriend. Oh, I gotta stop soon and do another stretch. I've been going for a while. Yes, when will we see Goth Noelle? Noelle deserves to be tall. Okay. I am going to do my stretches and also get more water and my orangey juice as well. Yeah, I love how like the fandom was kind of right on Des's characterization, and I actually really like that. Like, as soon as we saw her room, I'm like, oh yeah, this is Des. I know, we got silhouettes of young Asriel and Des. As soon as we saw that, it was like, oh no! Oh my goodness, tall Noelle, taller than Susie. Tall what? No tall. That would throw me for a loop, because I also want Susie to be large too. She needs to be chonk. I like the fact that Gigi draws her really chonk. Really, really buff. And yeah, young Kris wearing the horns. Yeah, Gigi's art's really great. Some people were all some people complaining about, like, you know, them in their punk rock outfits, and I'm like, what are you talking about? They're cool and cute. They're cool and cute. I should read Cucumber Quest, actually. I should do it. Actually, you know what I wanted to do? I wanted to play Soul Sov. I wanted to play Soul of Sovereignty, which I think was Gigi's game. That looked really interesting. I should put that on my list of things to play. I want to play Soul of Sovereignty. And yeah, it feels like Des and Azzy were perhaps a thing. What with, like, having Azzy's retainer in her house? No, I think Kris's giant monster outfit is a puppy. It's a blue dog. There was a lot of things in, like, this chapter of like Kris being a dog, Kris being a puppy, they like howl at stuff. They're wearing like a Blue's Clues outfit in that. It looks like a puppy. They are like little eyes. I don't know. When I first saw it, I did not think Everyman. I thought that's a dog. Kris's dog coding increased. A blog for short. I'm still mad I missed the Susie Zilla sequence. I'll do it next time. I'll have to look at what happens with the eggs. I'm still not certain what's going on with who or what Everyman is. What's the deal with the eggs? I will still many things to cover. Oh yeah, we got a lot more darkness, water, ocean things going on. That's getting heavier. Every time like the depth showed up, I'm like, there's that water thing again. They're so gender. But like, okay, it makes sense it's the Valentine letter, but then it's also like, is that Gaster or is that not Gaster? It's all very odd. Very, very odd. I gotta find them eggs. I will have to look up guides for the egg. All the eggs collecting on Birdley's desk. Why are they there? Actually, they're probably there on Birdley's desk because, like, that way you can see all of them as opposed to them being on Tenny's desk where her head's blocking them. And also, then you can just make Birdley egg joke. Well, I gotta look up the new sweepstakes pages again. Whew. Well, oh yeah, I think I saw the unused text or something. I don't remember exactly what it said. You can go and destroy the hedgehog. That was the purpose of egg. It's like, what? Backstory lore? No. Destroy Sonic the Hedgehog. Deltarune intro plays. Alright, I will be right back for one more stretch and water and stuff like that. It is hot. Alright, I'm back with more things to drink. Wait, what did I miss? Sorry. I was away getting my water and my stretches. Now we're back. Yeah, oh good grief, that's gonna be hard to transcribe. Tenna alone, I'm like, good grief, how did you manage all that with Tenna? The absolutely wild sprites. Somebody with some 3D modeling got to have fun. No, it says image. We'll deal with that later. Some of it's like, here, have some, you know. Stop that. Let me use my thing. We have, like, blingy GIF text. Chapter 6 is just Shadow of the Colossus. We kind of already got that for the boss battle. Oh yeah, I got everything that he was referencing. Like, I actually kind of wish there was a more direct reference to like a 90s commercial, something like that. Yeah, exactly. That this is not a solo project. This is definitely a team is working on this. That was such whiplash. I would, like, of all the things people I think were expecting with Tenna, like, not that. Geronimo? Yeah, the ending visuals were so cool. I'm curious how they programmed that 3D section of climbing the tower in, you know, Game Maker, a game which famously is not really for 3D models. Yeah, like, it's not actually a 2D model in the game. I know that that's still sprites, but I'm curious as to how they got that effect working. Some clever math. I wouldn't know how to do that. Yeah, like what was the programming used to, like, basically move the sprites around when you're climbing the pillar? Because they at least had to have some kind of, like, 3D map of, like, okay, this is how the pillar is constructed, this is what, you know, falls apart at which point, sort of thing. So you can map out, like, where you're going on it. Oh, really? Of course, it would be something, like, really simple like that that's hard to do. Yeah, that makes sense. I figured just, like, the whole opening thing with, like, that's just a video we put in. It's not really interactable, it's just there. It's funny. Or MP4. Sorry, MP4 is the video version. It's hard to rank. Let's see. I think 4 is my favorite. I'm gonna go with 4 being my favorite. But let's see. I don't know what I would put last. Well, I'm not sure what I would rank last. Yeah. Yeah, my order might be 4, 2, 1, 3, but I think the difference between 1 and 3, yeah, I think I might put 3 last. Not that I didn't like it. Of course I liked it. Like blah blah blah. Can't talk. Yeah, I really appreciate 1's vibes a lot. And 3 is fun, but there are parts of it where I'm like, this is taking a little bit long in terms of pacing. Not like, there's more game than I want. Meh, meh, meh. Just it's kind of like, okay, this is trying to get through this is like, it really does replicate the feeling of like, playing Zelda 1, where pacing was less of an issue, and you're just kind of running around doing stuff and looking for a weird cave out in the middle of the ocean. I might enjoy 3 more on a replay. Yeah, the cut third board was probably the Western, right? We got a little hint of that with the Western segments, but... Well, we'll probably get happy moments, like, festival stuff. Yeah, that was my main issue, I think, with the... the Western Physical Challenge in the TV City area. That's probably my main issue with that, is that, like, if you don't do any of the secret stuff in 3, then yeah, it's paced just fine. But if you are like, okay, I want to, do the secret stuff, it's not, find piano things, find some keys, do a little fetch quest. The sword route basically kind of doubles the length of the game. I'm spending a long time looking for stuff here. The sword route just makes it a lot longer. You really got to go out of your way to get that mantle. Oh. It definitely has a weird feeling about it, because again, I never played Weird Route, but just playing even the mantle stuff and not beating the boss, I'm like, why is all this Weird Route stuff here in the normal route? This is very unsettling. What are you doing here, Snowgrave? I haven't Snowgraved anybody. I didn't even realize at first that, like, that you killed Susie and Ralsei in that. I was like, okay, I got the sword. I'll try and, hammer away at the barrier here. Then I got it, and I was like, wait, where's Susie and Ralsei? Where'd they go? Did I kill them? It very well could have been, yeah. Yeah, again, I'm not surprised that was changed. Not terribly surprised. I think, Snowgrave. Yeah, I didn't see for a second. I'm like, wait, where's my party members? Where'd they go? And then just the whole thing, it's like, and then Game Kris came out to attack Susie in real life. That's creepypasta stuff for you. I was playing the video game, and then something creepy happened, and then the game character came out of the game and attacked me in real life. Literally what happens. And Susie bled hyper-realistic blood! She did! No, it was pixelated, but still. I love seeing those reactions where it's like, wait a minute, she's bleeding? Have my sins been remembered in this alternate timeline? Let's see. No, it's just there. Man, I spent a long time just hacking away at, like, the Noelle character. So I was like, I've had to kill everybody else here so far. I guess I gotta kill this guy too. And it took me a while to be like, okay, it's not happening. I guess let's move on. And you realize, oh, this guy is oh. Yeah, there is no point to killing it. It's just there. Mm-hmm. I'm like, Ram, why are you so certain? It's like, Kris, you'll love these violence in the video games. And it's like, do they? Do they? I mean, maybe, but I don't think they want it in real life. There doesn't seem to be any indication that there's magic in the real world, in real life. Nothing beyond, like, you know, the kind of stuff that we as humans would have, like occult magic. Huh. It's about the freedom. Oh yeah, that Ram might have been a shadow crystal candidate. I also find it very interesting that it's like the knight gave Gerson a shadow crystal, and Gerson's like, I don't need this, I ain't gonna look at that. And that's probably why he didn't go insane. He's like, no, that's not for me, thanks. Gerson is the goat, the real goat. He's too powerful. Stop praying for my grandpa. He's too powerful. I think we do, because one of them chips off the sword when you beat. And there was something else that was proof, like, oh, the knight is giving people shadow crystals. There was some other piece of evidence I saw that was like, yeah, definitely the knight is giving those. Let's see. It's really not clear what the shadow mantle is supposed to be. Whatever the mantle holder is. Don't ever get it from me. Yeah, why is Shadow Crystal and Black Shard both different things? She was so excited she fell off. The Halloween Ghosty Boss, if you go into the choir room and check the closet, there is a pile of Halloween decorations are in there, and they're like, oh, this is Jack. We'll take him back later. He's really big. Like, Susie's already figuring out. Wait, which Halloween guy in Chapter 3? I'm not sure who you're talking about. Huh. But apparently Asgore has one too. Asgore, why do you have one? Why? Can it be safely held? I mean, you can hold glass if you're careful, but... I was like, wow, I found this pretty glass. I hope it has no implications. I'm sorry, I just don't know what Halloween thing you're talking about. The dysfunctional throuple was so funny. So hilarious. Oh, the guy is just... The boss is just the Shadow Mantle. Okay, and that's not him in the basement. He's in he's not in the basement at that point. He's in Carol and Rudy's room. Oh, unused, huh? Weird. Yeah, there's a lot of words that are censored that, you know, you can't do for choosing Kris's name. And also there is no G in the third slot, so you cannot do egg, yeah, and you cannot do WDG for Gaster. No, it's not in the basement. You can find Asgore in the bathroom, and then later he is in Carol and Rudy's room. I think that was the confusion. I'm like, he's not in the basement. Yeah, you can't do some words, which, smart. You gotta think about that kind of stuff. But I do appreciate that you can do ass so that Susie will laugh at it. Can't have the sensors on my ass. Tumblr sexy man. I'll have to dethrone Sans. You may be able to do just EG, but I don't think it would mean anything. It's not the same, quite the same thing as egg. Well, I guess it would have to be 3 characters, right? Also, apparently, there's no response for 666. Which I find strange, but... Blue works. I think I put kid in mine. That was pretty innocuous. Yeah, I would figure that 666 would be one of the censored ones, but I don't think it is. You're allowed that bit of gastroness. I can only imagine how many people have gone through and tried to like think of everything you can put in the name maker. Actually, now I'm wondering what happens if you put in Ral, same as Ral say. Like, there's got to be a response for that, right? I love her purple hair. No. Susie was already, like, my favorite character. And now it's just, like, through the roof. Like, after these chapters, I'm like, I love you so much, Susie. I've been rotating you in my mind non-stop since Wednesday. That is where all my brain power is going. They have skyrocketed. It cannot be stopped. Please protect these children. Yeah, I don't think Ralse is secretly evil. I don't think that's what's going on in that situation. I don't know. Oh yeah. No, I think he's suspicious. I mean, now we know that he has been hiding stuff. There's probably more that he's hiding. There was probably some more things, especially about where he comes from, who or what he is that he's hiding. Well, that I feel like is still pretty close. Like, I still think that the Red Horn headband is the most likely candidate for the object that's supposed to be Ralse. I know some people feel like that's kind of debunked, and I'm like, I don't know. I still feel like that's kind of that's the case. So I wouldn't say at least one guy. I'm pretty sure that's most of the fandom. I think I would be a little surprised if it was something else at this point. Yeah, I think the Scarlet Antlion was supposed to be the headband, the Fangs of Youth. I don't think it was literally the headband, though. I think it's just a representation of it. I don't think it's Kris's knife. Yeah, that is the Fangs of Youth. Also, I think one of the doors in the sword route that you go through to enter like the final dungeon is also the red horn headband. So it shows up a couple times. Nah ha 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 ha. I definitely think it's way more leaning into this is a representation of what Kris wished they were, as opposed to literally is Asriel. Especially where the bit where Susie's like, "Hey, that's where I'll say, oh, it's your brother," and it's like, okay, Kris, you can stop pointing out how they're different. I get it. I know. Please talk about Asriel a little bit. Apparently, like, I didn't get this because of my dialogue choices. But, yeah, there's a bit where he does talk a little bit about Asriel. He's like, yeah, I know we look similar. Ha ha ha. Mm-hmm. Sort of thing. And it's like, what do you know, sir? Sir? What are you not telling us? How do you feel about the fact that you know you look similar? What's going on with you and your brother, Kris? What's happening? That is very interesting. I like the fact that I look like your brother in a weird and kind of unsettling way, Kris. What does that mean? What does that mean? Bird up, bird up, bird up. Also, man, was it just me or did it kind of feel like, I don't know, like, Birdly kind of settled back into his old ways a bit. Just the extreme arrogance of the guy. Yeah. But even Noelle seems like she got a little bit of development from it. True character development is not linear. But it seems like he kind of horseshoed it. Again, I don't know that Birdly is really attracted to anybody. I think Birdly's issue is that he thinks if anybody is nice to him, the only reason they would be nice to him is because they like him romantically. He just really does not pick up on the fact that, like, hey, people can care about you and it not be about, you know, them wanting something from you. Yeah, I sing the wrong number song of him. Shockington. You growing the beard? Am I already supposed to... What am I doing? My next stretch break. Not Stanley. Yeah, although, like, yeah, Birdly is annoying, but I really think that Carol is the bigger threat to Suzelle right now. Well, with the whole "never talk to my daughter again" bit, that is that is the scarier deal than Birdly being obnoxious. Mm-hmm. I don't know if he's picked up that that Susie and Noelle like each other. Not the smartest knife in the drawer. At least socially. I have to look up Susie's axe colors. I forget what they are. Oh well, I'll check in a second. Classic high intelligence, super low wisdom. Yeah, she was trying. Like, she was trying to stand up to Carol. She was like, no, it wasn't Susie, it was me. Just her mom just immediately shut her down. Okay, let's take a stretch break, because good grief, time's flying. I think it's time for my stretch break. Hard to tell. Yeah, like, the whole, like, Queen is a, Noelle's mom. Queen is way more tolerable than Carol so far. Stretch. Stretch. Stretch and stretch. Ugh. I'm gonna have to break out my little portable AC soon because it's getting hotter. Yeah, Queen kind of sucks morally, but she's at least funny. Like, there's, at least so far, nothing funny about Carol. She just sucks all the humor out of the room. What a first impression. Yeah, Queen used to be a lot scarier, true. Sucks all the humor and all the warmth out of the room. Yeah, I appreciate that. Appreciate the fact that, like, I'm sure she's nuanced. I'm sure she has complicated, motivations for what she's doing. But I really hope that, like, she doesn't get softened. I like the fact that, hey, here's a character, here's a villain in a Toby Fox game where it's like, take this one seriously. There's nothing funny about this person. They're just kind of cold and terrifying. We really need that because usually, like, King got softened quite a bit. A little sad about that. He just, like, a lot of the threat was taken out of him. There's always even, like, a little bit of comedy in villains. Even Flowey, you definitely got to understanding his situation and empathizing with him and stuff because ultimately, he was, the scared kid that missed his friend, even if he was also a horrible asshole eventually. But yeah, Clarice, please turn that off next time. But I think it's a nice change to have, again, a character that is not comedic. There's nothing funny about this. She's just terrifying and intimidating and cruel. Yeah, she's incapable of being strict, but at the same time, it is not a kindness she's showing towards Kris. It is this very menacing thing of, you are in my good graces because you are very useful to me. Yeah, I was actually not expecting her to be, like, that terrifying. I'm like, okay, I'm probably, like, in Eldritch Rune, the streams I was doing where she gets killed, I'm like, this might be a little bit too much. She's probably not this bad in canon. And then I got canon, I'm like, oh no, she's that bad. I feel like it was more in reference to the player. Kill her dead. Kill your mayor. I feel like the U is directed towards the player. I feel like her tolerance or, appreciation for Kris seems to be more geared towards the fact that Kris is possessed, has that heart, like, she's not interested in what Kris is doing. She's interested in the heart-shaped object. She's interested in the soul. So she's like, okay, you're my little cage that has the soul that I'm using for whatever reason or intend to, find useful. And who cares about how Kris actually feels about the situation? Yeah, the red heart pillows that she has a bunch of for some weird reason. And that she's like, oh, my mom sure likes these soul pillows for reasons. Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's the thing of, like, Deltarune of, like, willing to sacrifice her daughter, literally, but I think she seems willing to put people in harm's way. I don't think that Carol's struggling for money. She's pretty much controlling the town's economy. I think she's fine. Especially since she is the one that seems to be paying Asgore. Like, no, money is not an issue for her. She is scary because she has money and power. And seems to hold, like, all the power in the town. They are rich. That is not the issue. Alright, be right back for one more stretch and all of that. Alrighty, I'm back. Hello. Okay. There might be a thing where there's a little bit of attachment to old family ties. At the very least, I think that Asgore is way, way more focused on, like, getting the family back together and just, like, I want to pretend everything's fine and nothing is ruined, so I will do what I can to have everything be fine and nothing be ruined, even though, you know, some things are irreparably damaged. I just want to ignore that. Yeah, she's very ends justify the means. That whole scene was so awkward. Literally one of the most awkward scenes ever. I'm like, this is deeply uncomfortable. Yeah, Toriel is excited to just move on, perhaps to the detriment of her family. And Asgore is desperate to relive the past, also to the detriment of the family. Neither of them are handling this well. Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's big on like, if we go back to the way things were, this will help Asriel. It's like some kind of parallel. It was really painful after church. I'm like, Asgore, what are you doing? No, stop that, no. I can definitely see why there's this idea of like, hey, it would really help if you played Undertale before playing this game. The hardest boss is the second-hand embarrassment of Asgore. Oh, I would watch out if you have not seen the chapters yet. Like I put in the title, there is spoilers here. There's a lot of spoilers going on. I mean, if you don't care about spoilers, that's fine, but just warning that they will happen. And they have happened and they will happen again. They're happening right now with what I'm drawing. I had hoped that I made it clear in my thing that like, hey, spoilers are happening. Yeah, it's up to you what you want to do. I literally played as soon as they were out. But I was also very fortunate that I was able to, like, work-wise. Okay, it's up to you. Yeah, it's Spoiler City! Yeah, there are plenty of feels, like, again, I have not stopped thinking about this game since I played it for like 4 days straight. They're $25. It's really cheap. I know. We got so much to chew on. I'm like, is a year going to be enough time to just discuss everything? I know, I just have not thought about anything much else. I've lost sleep being like, I have to think about Susie Deltarune. I like them both. I think I kind of prefer the overall regular Castletown, but the Funky Castletown one was cute. In really vague ways. I know people are like kind of worried. It's like, oh, we're not going to get 3 chapters, but man, imagine if we had gotten these 2 and chapter 5. Holy crap, I think we would have died. I think we would have died if we had had chapter 5 as well. We get 1 new book in the library. It's relevant to what's going on here. The whole game at once. I don't think I could handle it. So, first I was like, oh man, it sucks we're only getting 2 chapters. Now I'm like, thank you, Toby. I needed this breather. Oh, I see the older preview name. Again, he moved over like 1 square. We got one new book. The book was stuff that we kind of already knew, but is relevant to stuff going on in chapter 4. Yeah, chapter 4 is definitely the mid. Heck, even Gaster at the end is like, and so we're halfway through. Are you having fun in my game? You enjoying it? I don't know, I'm sure something wild is going to happen at the end of chapter 5 and we're going to be like, oh crap. No, they tell you have someplace else to be. They're like, you going someplace else? You going someplace else? I'm sure we'll get more lore in chapter 5. Eventually. Yeah, I can imagine they were busy with that. I'm curious as well. At first I wasn't sure, but now it does seem like, okay, yeah, definitely Flower King's where we're doing chapter 5. No clue about 6 or 7. Kris, you promised. Kris, what did you promise? What is the promise in our hearts? Ah! Alright, thanks a bunch for coming to the stream. These will be posted when they're done. Probably sometime today or tomorrow. I ain't drawing no ball pits. No more ball pits. Yeah, especially if we manage to get the extra codes we need in chapter 5. And get to the bunker in chapter 6. No clue what chapter 7's going to do. Not a stinking clue. Susie's like, it's 1, 2, 2 something, and we the player are like, it's 5. Susie, it's Grimace. It's Grimace. Come on. But then we also still need 2 other codes. We still need the police one and the Deltarune one. Yeah, that's another thing I'm not sure how we're gonna tackle, because like the whole reason we beat the Titan at all is because like Gerson's like, oh, by the way, I am the most powerful. I will kick ass here. Go for it, my children. Go, my Susie. And I kind of doubt we'll have Gerson available in future boss fights with the Titan. Running simulation against? No, he really is that powerful. Yeah, they beat him by yeeting themselves inside it, but by that point, like, it had already regenerated, basically. And it was not until Gerson shows up just as like, I'm gonna break the shield for you. Here, come on, Susie, let's do it. And laser attack. Yeah, they were exhausted by the end of that, so Gerson showing up was necessary. Yeah, I can't imagine a scenario where they're going in very well. I was not expecting Titan fight in chapter 4. Yeah, if we have one that fully hatches, I don't know how we're dealing with that. This is like, I'm coming out of my shell and I'm feeling just fine. It's that friggin' Yume Niki ass stuff going on when it pops out. Alright, I gotta find the boss battle. Here it is. Okay. Meow is a world-ending being. Alright, I'm gonna have to try and do this from. Go eat the CD bagels! It's definitely a very scary scene. I really do like the Titan's final boss theme, but when you're climbing up the tower to reach it, that was a freaky thing. Looming wall of dread. Bubble. Bibble. Yeah, wait until the Titan faces the water cooler. The most powerful of all beings. Now that we've recruited the water cooler, nothing can stop us. Yeah, the whole animation where, like, the hand pops out with, like, the eyes peering out of it, I'm like, oh, that's nice and freaky. Appropriately scary. That would have been bad. No wonder Ross was like, no, don't stop. Well, Rousey, maybe you should have led with Birdly. If you do that, a giant eldritch horror is going to pop out. and kill all of us. Don't. Please do not. Yeah, it seems like it's like raw Dark World, since at least the way Rousey describes the Titans, it's like they aren't like a species. They aren't physical, you know, they aren't guys with thoughts. They're just pure fear. Yeah, that whole scene in like the corridor with the lightning flashes, and she's like, "Why don't you just tell us?" I'm like, "Oh, oh." Him being suspicious is intentional, but I don't think malicious is what's going on with him. He seems genuinely like if you know, he is terrified when he realizes, oh, Susie's gonna find out what's gonna happen. Like, he just absolutely does not want his friends basically to be upset and worried. Like, please do not find out about the prophecy. Please, please, please do not. Yeah. I'm sure there's more stuff he's hiding, even though she's like, stop hiding stuff. He's like, I'll try, but I'm sure there's more that we're not getting. At the very least, I keep wondering that, like, if Susie at least was not supposed to be in the prophecy, but Noelle was. That kind of weird confusion around the girl as opposed to, like, specifying Susie. The fact that the silhouette for the girl is kind of vague. The fact that during... Yeah. The fact that, you know, when during this boss battle I'm drawing right now, where Susie asks... what Dragon Blazer's character am I? He says, oh, you're the dragon. Which is kind of odd, because the one time we also hear a dragon mentioned is like, in chapter 1, the heroes defeat the evil king and stop the dragon. And we don't really have that in the chapter. There is no dragon we stop. Unless it's just Susie stop, you know, being so mean to people. It looks closer to an abstract Susie, but it's also kind of like, why is the sword there? She doesn't wield a sword, and neither does Noelle, for that matter. Actually, I gotta look at the hammer still. Yeah. Yeah, I'm thinking on it more. And I'm like, I really get the feeling, I'm like, we're gonna have some situation in the future where, you know, she doesn't want to, but by her choice, she gives up control of herself in order to use Kris's soul. Some dire circumstance. And the candy cane sword. Okay. I'm just trying to color pick here. I couldn't find a sprite for this version of Gerson yet. I have seen some people suggest that the girl predicted to die is Noelle. Again, assuming that it's like somebody is predicted to die, and it's not doesn't mean something else. I don't know. It feels like Susie is definitely asking Rousey about Noelle. She's like, what do you know about Noelle? And he's like, I know what she can equip? Yeah. Uncertain. Something I was gonna say and I forgot. Shoot. My brain. of people have been like, okay, it means that, you know, the final Dark Fountain needs to be sealed. I'm kind of less convinced of that because it seems like after Chapter 3, Susie is more willing to accept, okay, Darkners are objects, and our time together may not be forever, but it's still really important to me. Oh, I think another reason why there was the suggestion that the girl in the prophecy is not Susie is because Rouse is like, oh well, Susie, you're supposed to wear ribbons, but Susie does not want to wear any ribbons. She refuses them, whereas Noelle does wear ribbons or has worn them in the past. Mm-hmm. It was really hard to figure out Gerson's outfit here. Yeah, but even if it wasn't Susie, it would still be a thing of like, we don't want that to happen to Noelle either. Kris seems to have some idea of what's going on with the prophecy as well. I find it extremely funny that, you know, in this game about, you know, narratives and losing control and stuff like that, and who is really in control of the situation, everybody in this party now knows what the prophecy is, but the player does not. The player does not know. We are the ones that are out of the loop. I don't know, I find that extremely funny. We're supposed to be like, you know, the one really driving the story and the one that knows all this. We are the ones that don't know. Everybody else knows but us. Yeah, I wonder if love means different things. I don't know, because it's always a little bit weird to apply like Undertale's acronyms of like, you know, love means level of violence and, you know, the stats mean things, when we haven't had any indication that that is the case here. Who will tell us? I don't know. I don't know. It's a mystery to me as well. Well, even in this case, determination doesn't seem to mean anything. It doesn't mean resets here. The only indication we have of determination in Deltarune is that you need it to make a dark world. It hasn't been brought up again since Chapter 2. There is nothing in here to indicate that determination is a reset, like it was in Undertale. Your determination is showing? I do not recall that part. Your will to keep making stuff. Okay, I saw a post recently that was very interesting that, I think it was from Bisca, that was basically, the shot where, you know, they're looking at prophecy stuff, and it's like, and then here's the angel of, you know, the prophecy, and you don't see anything. Susie's like, what the heck is that? And Rouse is like, I think that's what the angel is supposed to look like. And she's like, I don't know about that. Somebody's like, are we supposed to see it, because we don't see anything, are we supposed to see our own reflection in the screen? Because it's just like all black bars. I don't know, that's a very interesting thought. Yeah, it's very maddening that they have this thing of like, oh, that's the angel. What is that kind of thing? Susie, what did you mean by that? What did you mean by that? Yeah, I can't remember what dialogue I got during the night. Oh, yeah, I didn't. Well, I didn't have the shadow mantle, so as soon as I died, I'm like, okay, I'm dead. I'm dead. I never got no shadow mantle. I can't do it. I'm double checking. Okay. That's a little bit of a stretch, I feel like, because that's not using the term determination. It's saying if you're determined, you can try again. Like, if you want to maybe stretch it, it could work like that, but that's not quite the same slam dunk as determination as it was in Undertale. Gaster, what are you doing? That's going to be me a lot. I'm going to die a lot near the end. Because I'm going to die a lot in general. There will be a lot of death on my part. Because if this is harder than Sans, uh-oh. Uh-oh. Voice, I'm in danger! That's me. The secret bosses. Like this guy. I do think I had a couple deaths that were not secret bosses. I definitely died a couple of times against the Titan. Didn't do well there. And, somebody else I died to as well. I can't... Oh, I died a couple times to Jackenstein. I could not work out what was going on with, that mechanic for a bit. And I would rush stuff too much. So I died for Jackenstein a couple times. Because those are really long battles for me. I eventually got it. I imagine I would eventually get, you know, the knight and stuff too, but I'm scared. I'm scared. I'm especially scared because, like, I really wanted to do secret bosses, when I stream with my friends. But if the knight is that hard, I don't know that I'll be able to do it on stream. Not with, like, everything else, the rest of the game. It would just take so long. I might have to, like, set aside files for, you know, here, I beat the boss on this file separately. Now we can continue on. Because, I'm scared. I know I gotta go back and tackle him eventually, but I'm not sure when. I've got lots to do. I'd like to go back to some Deltarune stuff as well, although I'm really not sure how to integrate Chapter 3 and 4 stuff into that yet. I've got to think on it. Just because also Chapter 3 and 4 really broke the pattern of who and what is a regular boss, who and what is a secret boss. Like Gerson, I don't know how I'm going to incorporate Gerson into Deltarune. I'm sure there's some cool way I can do it, but I got to think on it. I will have to think about it. Let's see, is it still going? Okay, no, we're good. Let's see. I think we're done with the base colors. So we're gonna have to start doing a little bit of shading, and I'm gonna... Oh wait, no, I forgot a couple things. Why is it so annoying? Yeah, well, we won't do super fancy shading, just some basic shading. I was like, I want to do some color for this. I haven't done color in a while. And I really wanted to draw these two because they were one of my favorite parts of chapter 4. Ugh. Was not expecting how much I needed Susie Gerson mentorship, but I'm glad we got it. Okay. I'll do more color stuff. Actually, when am I supposed to take my break again? I keep losing track of that. Probably soonish. And we'll do one more session. Okay, if that's a yellow, this should be like a bluish purple. More shadows. The shadows are going. Yep. Some really simple stuff here. Whew, whew, whew. I almost wish I had asked for more time off of work. I'm still like brained out. How do I interact with the real world again? I don't know. I'll figure it out. Can't be gone for too long. I gotta do stuff like Patreon sketches too. Whoop. Okay. And I'll probably also tackle the... I don't think I'll have time to get to it, but I'll tackle the other thing I started just on my own time. Whew. Also, I am unsure what I should do for my gaming thing on Friday. If I should start a new game or if I should maybe just do a couple like practice on secrets and stuff like that, like the bosses. So I'm open to suggestions on that. If you'd rather I just start up a new game, because again I do want to do a stream of all the chapters, but I usually do that with my friends involved, so I'd have to coordinate that with them, and that'll take a little bit. Oh, what's the line? What could it be? A little help to let you know that you're getting close, but not quite. I forgot Susie's freckles on here. I'm gonna have to go back and add those in. Susie, how can I can forget your freckles? They're so cute. Your power. What a helpful little game over message. You're almost there. You almost did it. That very much feels like a one, you know, the shadow crystals are something that Gaster knows about, and two, feels you need to get. Yeah, it seems like there's this sense of like, hey, you can defy fate if you try. If you have the power. Oh, it only happens on a replay? Okay, that makes sense. Because, yeah, when I did it, it's just like, you died in 2 hits, and now we move on. I've already played One Shot. One Shot was actually one of the first ones I did on my usual streaming session. So, I've already done One Shot. I feel like if it was a game that was not Deltarune, I'd probably do either like Mother 3, maybe the Outer Tail AU game. Gaster like, you can do it, my dude. Amazing. Because if you want to watch that, that's on my YouTube channel. It takes 5 shadow crystals. Okay. Huh. Yeah, I'm assuming it's the pure crystal. But I wonder if maybe like, if maybe one of those is like you can skip a crystal. Depends on like when you'd have to do that. When do you have to lock in basically and make sure you have 5? Yeah, that is what I'm wondering now too. That might be a nice thing if it's like this battle really is way too hard, but if you really can't do it, you're not going to be locked out completely. If you miss it, well, I think you would be like, okay, you can't go back and redo chapter 3 sort of thing. And Sham is already pretty despondent. He's kind of like, yep, you were doomed from the start. Yeah. Sham is very nihilistic about it, in general. That was the message I got. It's like, oh, it's nice that you tried. So I never even found the mantle. Like, I got to the boss for it, but I didn't beat it. Because even that was hard, so I'm like, oh no, I have to get better at that. Oh no, oh no. Oh no! I'm scared. But yeah, whenever I play with my friends, I highly doubt that I'll be able to do, like, the knight on the stream. Maybe Gerson, if I can practice enough. John T. Knight. Naively believing, well, maybe the other secret bosses won't be as hard as Jevel. Fool that I was. Oof, okay, I really need to take my stretch break. Just realized I'm going a little bit too long. I get caught up doing the fun stuff. Okie dokie. Time for a stretch break, and then we'll do a little bit more, and then I will have to call it so I can get my lunch and stuff like that. Yeah, and I also appreciate the fact that, like, Gerson, you don't die to Gerson each time, you just lose, and then he's like, sure, you can try again if you want. It feels a lot more antagonistic of a boss fight. It looks like it's more fun, kind of be like, okay, this is not, you know, something stressful and like we're being toyed with. This is we're learning something, which that's a nice different take on it. Yeah, the fact that she won't take the axe unless she actually earns it, I'm like, oh honey. Again, I do find it really interesting that apparently somebody gave Gerson a shadow crystal, and he's like, I don't need this, I'm not going to look at it. And like, what would have happened if he had looked at it? I get the feeling it would be bad. Stop giving shadow crystals to my grandpa, he's too powerful. Susie's hogging all the character development. She's not, but... This will make my wife love me again. Guess the Shadow Crystal skill issue. Huh, interesting. Interesting. I guess it kind of makes sense. Noelle is you know, has the pencils in real life. He hands them out to Kris often. Whereas Susie's like, nope, I'm using my axe, my brush. I like how she's like, oh, what is this, a toothbrush? I don't know. Susie's coming in, busting out all your prophecies. Screw that. Yeah, the little Ribbit guy, like, clearly he was for Rabbit, but it was also part of me was like, is that a Ribbit reference? Just a cute little nod, you know? Although the moves for the Ribbits were just the same as, you know, Frogget from the regular Undertale. I don't think I've ever seen a dust frog, though. I know what a dust bunny is, but I'm like, why frogs for the opposite of a dust bunny? Clean and tidy. A clean and tidy girl. Yeah, golden cactus is weird. Justice! Justice for all of us. Yeah, it seems like, again, these two chapters were like, oh, you thought there were patterns to everything? Nah, not really. We pattern when we feel like it, and that's not all the time. Good luck can't talk predicting that. I'm really bad at picking out motifs, though. People are like, oh, this motif is in this song, and I'm like, huh? I don't have an ear for it. I don't know. Whenever like Gaster, like, oh, bits of Gaster's themes are in this song, I just think of like Andrew Cunningham's video of like the brain rot meter. It's really, really easy to hear Gaster's thing, Gaster's arpeggio and things that might not really be there. Kind of a, confirmation bias sort of thing. Ugh. Alright, be right back for one more stretch and etc. I'm returning. Here comes Grandpa and Deltarune kicking my ass. Yeah, the fact that he survived, like, basically an impossible war and lived to this age, it's like, okay, this makes sense why he is this way. Because literally he's like, dodging, yeah, I can do that. Sands ain't special. Sure, I'll steal your items. I can do it. I can do it 9 times. Yeah, again, I had to draw him so much here because I'm just like, I love you, Gerson. I believe in turtle power. War heroes and a half show. Turtle power. A little bit of shady. Well, then we'll go back and carve that out. Again, my initial thought was like, okay, Gerson might come back as the knight. Because we have this whole storytelling motif going on. And he was a storyteller. And then he did come back, but I'm like, okay, I actually like this better than him as the knight. I really like this a lot. Yeah, I don't even need no blue shells. I'll kick your ass with the green shells. Susie is definitely at least queer. Gerson, a father figure to all butch women. Let's go, lesbians. Okay, actually, has anybody done that yet? Has anybody done Let's Go Lesbians with Gerson and Susie and Undyne? And Des. All lesbians will find tutelage with Gerson. Yeah, but I think he was also like the general teacher for almost all the kids back in the day. At least the older kids. Not Chris's age, but like Azzy and Des's age. Gerson, patron saint of butch lesbians who will kick your ass. Yeah. Oh, I like that idea a lot, actually. I like the idea that, you know, Des obviously didn't really fit in with, you know, kind of the expected aesthetic of the Holiday family. She's, you know, basically a punk rocker. And I like the idea that she, you know, went to Gerson sometimes and he encouraged her to be herself, basically. Like, forget what your mom says. You do you. You're the coolest. She could be by her, Polly. True. Like, we could have trans Des. I don't know. The possibilities, they're endless. She could be Ace. I do want one Ace character. I do. Why is the thing not going? Yeah. Yeah, the fact that she was sitting on Gerson's bench crying. I'm like, Susie, what happened to you, honey? Honey! I really do get the sense that, like, yeah, Asriel and Des may have been a thing. Again, why is your brother's retainer in her, like, in her stuff? Took that out for sloppy makeouts? Yeah, oh my goodness. Like we knew that, like, you know, Susie seems to respect Toriel. But it really does seem like she does because, yeah, Toriel stepped up and was like, hey, you know, don't worry, you're not alone. I should do art of that. That's where, no, there was the weed in there too, but yeah, there was also Asriel's retainer in there. Oh no, yeah. Well, she had this really high opinion of Toriel. And then what if she's like, oh yeah, Toriel's so great, I really want to stay with the family. And then she's like, oh, this is a reminder of my own family. Okay. Huh. I couldn't be that lucky, could I? Susie, no! That would be sad. Oh my goodness. Oh, did she have Asriel's shirt? Where is that? Is that in the closet or something? I feel like that might have been something I missed because, you know, they don't. There's little cutoffs where they're like, stop looking around. We got a plot to do. Huh. In the closet? Oh, yeah. I'll have to check that again. I was too busy being like, I'm being threatened with a hockey stick by an angry NB child. It's really funny, but also help. I'm being threatened with a hockey stick by an angry NB child. Was not expecting, like, you know, the fan art of, like, you know, Kris and the Soul being apart and, like, just sniping at each other to just be canon. Versus Susie and Noelle's subplot. They're both in the closet, even when they're not. I know, I'm like, come on, just lift up that thing, take a peek, come on, you're Susie's gonna see it at some point. She's gonna figure out, oh, that's the soul, and also, oh, that thing might actually not just be a soul, it's possessing Kris. Because she got close at the end of chapter 4 where she was like, actually, Kris, what is that thing? Is that, like, what is that? And then it gets distracted. How are we gonna get out of this one? I thought it was gonna be a thing of, like, they scoop us up and put us outside like a mouse. And then so they're like, let's raise it as a pet. We got, you know, Paper Trail had the hamster cage, well now we're in the hamster cage. How do you like that? Noelle and Susie raise the player's soul as their pet. What do you feed it? Kris lies, this is really weird, but also, oh, thank God. It also seems like Kris, yeah, will die without it because, I don't know, I found it interesting how, like, you know, after the whole closet fight, Kris puts the soul back in, starts off, and then just, like, falls over, and you're like, uh-oh. You might have gone a little long there, dude, without that. You might be pushing your limit. So they can do a lot without the soul. They can, you know, chase us with a hockey stick and throw things and go play the piano and stuff like that. But it's not a permanent thing. I also kind of think like they just cannot do stuff in the Dark World if they don't have their soul. Which again, feel like we might be getting some kind of setup for Susie taking control of it. Yeah, they didn't seem happy about that. They're like, this was stupid. I might draw Kris and Soul shenanigans in the future because they were just... How can you not? They're really funny. Just putting the soul back in the second time after escaping, and they just look back like, yeah, don't move. Yeah. Necessary. Player, learn your lesson. Get the tar beaten out of you. Even if it's bad for Kris, though. It's deserved. Wait, what does Asgore tell them? Like, I know they beat up the soul in the trash can, but I didn't know. Does Asgore, like, interrupt them? They're just thrashing around in there? Oh, ooh. Okay. Okay, he doesn't see. Okay. Kris, you're taking too long destroying your soul in the bathroom. Kris is like, this is necessary. Yeah, they're just like, hey, guess what? It was true, there was a human hiding under the bed. You're taking too long. Oh, is there a weird root thing in the walk to church? Again, I haven't looked up much weird root stuff. I just know about that one scene with Kris and Noelle, and then also Kris just beating the crap out of the soul. And then I also know that, like, if you try and pray for Noelle at the candle stand, Kris is like, screw that, just kicks it over. Like, they're super mad. But I don't know if anything else happens on the walk to church. New call. Oh yeah, in the call, isn't it like, oh, Noelle's so looking forward to seeing you at the festival, which, creepy. Creepy. Creepy, deepy, sneepy. Sleepy. What's the moment that's the walk to church? Sneepy, yeah. I definitely use that word a lot. So definitely be like Carol's the one on the phone. Okay. Oh, weird, weird. Creepy. Huh. Oh, that's very odd. So you don't know what you pick? Can you even pick anything? Just like Kris, like, I can't say anything about it. Interesting. Huh. So Kris just doesn't even get dialogue options there. That's creepy. Or I guess, yeah, it could be either way. Either Kris is like, I cannot talk about this, I hate it so much, or Soul's like, screw you, I am in control now, buddy, and I suck. And I'm the monster. It was me all along. This is why I don't want to do the weird route. It feels very distasteful. I never did No Mercy, and I don't want to do the weird route. There's also, like, I really do not like the idea of, like, oh, you have to do the weird route to get the real ending. Like, no, thank you. Please leave that as something optional. Yeah, I think I heard something about, like, if you are asked to think about Noelle, then the scene changes or something like that. Or Noelle. Leave this girl alone. She's already dealing with so much. Is it worth it to kill Birdley? Wouldn't that be a twist? Wouldn't it be such a big twist if we all thought that, you know, oh, you know, us on the weird route is, you know, diverting away from the prophecy? And what was actually happening was the weird route was trying to get the prophecy back on track? That would be a twist. You thought you were being subversive with the creepypasta nonsense? No. You have fallen into our trap. Jockington with eggs. Eggs. No, I haven't seen the one where I was asked to think about the night. It's like, I ain't thinking about that. I'm not thinking about that. Yeah, I've seen some people when I was talking about half-human Susie sort of thing, is like, oh, well, Noelle's bleeding because of the thorn ring and the weird root. And I'm like, is that supposed to be her blood? Because I think I've seen some other stuff that, no, this kind of indicates that we got an extra little soul growing in there to control Noelle. Alright, we save. Getting close to having to stop so I can get some lunch. I still haven't decided what I'm going to play on Friday. Good grief. I've been too Deltarune. What can I do? Huh. Oh, I like that. That's an interesting twist. So, Kris is definitely okay with treating Rouse as being their own person. Play Deltarune again. But I don't want to play through all the regular story stuff because that's something that I save with my friends. To make it a real friend thing. Basically, I usually have 2 friends I do it with, and I might add 2 more whenever I do play the game. And we'll do like voices and commentary and all that stuff. I know, that would be such an interesting twist. Because again, everybody has thought, oh, the weird root is about subverting fate. And then, if it was actually about, no, course correcting to do what fate has demanded of us instead, and how, like, actually terrible and dark and, like, you know, bad that is for the characters, that's an interesting take. That's a take I actually like. I especially think like it's good again in relation to like these are a bunch of queer characters. No, like all 3 of our main Lightner characters are definitely queer in some way, and the idea of like this subversion of what's expected of you by society, and by the narrative, by your role in the narrative, the forbidden path. That sword calls it the forbidden path? I don't know, I just think that'd be really neat. And that especially, again, if Noelle was supposed to be the one in the prophecy and it was not Susie, and that, Noelle was supposed to fall in love with Kris because you're supposed to have your hero and your mage maiden fall in love. The forbidden path began with ice magic, right? That's right. I guess we will need to see. We will need to see. I don't know, I just think that'd be very cool. If what you thought you were doing in terms of, I am, defying fate was in actuality what the fate was supposed to be all along. The idea of that, if this is the video game and you are supposed to be violent, you're supposed to level up and get stronger. The hero is supposed to fall in love with the girl who does magic. You're supposed to defeat the dragon. And then being told, like, no, we've steered away from this because, these are, not people just assigned to roles. These are characters that, are more complex than you would give them credit for. Okay, once I finish this, I'm gonna go back and do the shading on this other stuff later. I still got a little bit more to do, but it is time for me to. Also, I'm gonna do like a little bit of color correcting and stuff like this on this page later. So this is not quite done, but a lot of it's done. So I will probably finish this up today or tomorrow and post it today or tomorrow and finally get some art out. Huzzah and hooray! Because I can't believe I haven't done much art yet. I've just been so wrapped up in the game itself that I haven't had the chance to art for it. My brain just, I was trying to draw and I'm like, I can't think. I'm too game. It's crazy. But yeah, I wanted to get out a little bit of this stuff because I really like this from Chapter 4. And I'll figure out what I'm doing for a game. It really might, if I'm not starting up something like Deltarune related, like either Outer Tail or Mother 3 or something else along those lines, which is going to take a little bit of working up for me, then I might just stream on Friday, like trying my hand at secret boss stuff. Just trying to practice it. It'll be a whole lot of me not progressing and just failing over and over again. And you all can either laugh at how bad I am or cheer me on, whichever one you want. But yeah, maybe I'll do that on Friday, just to okay, here's a chance to practice with the game a little bit, try and get the hang of these difficult battles, and maybe a replay looking for eggs or something like that. But I eventually do want to do like the proper stream of it would be with my friends all together doing our friend thing. So that's just like a special fun thing I like sharing with my friends. Whew. In the meanwhile, yeah, I gotta stop and get lunch and all that business. These will be up at a later date once I finish them all, because I wanted to get those done. And probably some more art's coming along. And I think this has been on my brain. I think I am going to try and do an edited theory video for Half Human Susie. I'm choosing the evil route. Theory video, watch out. Oh no. So I probably will start working on that this week as well. I'm going to need help with that though, because that's not my forte. I'll need some assistance. But yeah, in the meanwhile, thank you guys so much for coming to the stream and chatting with me about everything. I am so happy we got new chapters. They've been on my brain forever. And yes. I hope you guys have a great afternoon. I'll probably be doing more art for this next weekend as well. Either this or Deltarune, because I've got more to do on that. But there'll be more of this next week for sure. And yeah, thank you guys so much for coming to the stream and for chatting with me about all kinds of things. Ugh. And I hope it's a little bit cooler where you are, because it's hot over here. Thanks so much for coming. And I will see you all next time. Alrighty, I'll see you later.